Hi, beautiful friends. So I have been trying to put this together into like a clear way that would be easy to remember. This is sort of my basic layout for why we are even talking about the nervous system, why we're encouraging folks to figure out how to support their nervous system. It is not just so that we can be calm. Calm is great. Like, obviously, stress is the leading cause of disease, right? We know that it's not as fun to be stressed, all of these things. But calming down the nervous system is just always a short-term solution. It is going to get you out of the experience of the nervous system communicating with you so that you can get back up to your frontal lobe and make some decisions. But we don't want you to be, I don't know how my face shows up on the recording. So if I'm here, great. If not, I don't know. Um, so we don't want you just to get to your frontal lobe because like your frontal lobe is more fun or something. We want you to get to your frontal lobe so that you can actually figure out what the message was that your nervous system was trying to communicate and how to support the resolution of that message. So if you think about it, like if we have a smoke detector and there's a fire in the house and we just are like, oh, that alarm is like really aggravating, and we go and take the battery out, like the thing that is smoking is still smoking. And taking the battery out of the fire alarm is just the same thing as calming down the nervous system. If you don't resolve what is smoking, then the fire alarm's just going to keep going off and going off and going off. And that's why people who, you know, are in chronic defense states end up getting often all sorts of disease or pain or other um, things that just it's just your body trying to get more of your attention. So it's like that if the you took the battery out of the fire alarm, then like something else is going to start screaming at you, right? So this is, I'm hoping, an easy way to remember because DBT taught me all these acronyms, and I do think it's helpful. So I spent a lot of time with ChatGPT the other day to try to come up with an acronym that would make sense, that would help and be easy to remember for what it is that we're doing the nervous system work for um, in the first place. It is to get to this third step, self-inquiry. But a lot of us have tried to go to therapy or tried to read books or tried to journal or do the work of Byron Katie without doing these first two steps. And we can only get so far because if we're trying to do self-inquiry from our defense state, then it's like asking an alligator like to go to therapy, right? Like the alligator doesn't have those tools. So we will do number one and number two in order to get us back up to our frontal lobe to where we have the tools of a mammal, the tools of a human, and then we can actually make some real progress in self-inquiry. So the SSP or the Safe and Sound Protocol call, or any type of meditation, breath work, yoga, uh, all of these different like body somatic therapy, um, all of these things are really laying the foundation so that you can then do your self inquiry and make some progress with your self inquiry. If you do SSP or nervous system work or any of those other yoga breath work only or as a standalone, as the SSP people say, you just are going to be in that cycle of like, oh, I took the battery out of the smoke detector, but there's still something smoking. If you do that as a foundation to allow you to do the self-inquiry, then you can go and put out the fire, right? So this is what I came up with. Let me know what you think. SOS. Okay, so it's like something's wrong. SOS. I thought that was pretty clever. Thank you very much. First one is sense. Sense what nervous system state you are in. And I have loads of other videos about how to do this. I'll keep talking about this. So this is how we go in physically and we say, what is my body telling me? Am I mobilized? Am I immobilized? Two, Optimize. So optimize the nervous system. I like this word because we're not trying to quiet the nervous system. We're not trying to regulate it. We're not trying to tell it to shut up. We're not trying to tell it to always stay in calm or ventral because that is not optimal for us. If we optimize the nervous system, it means we're supporting it in working as flexibly and smoothly as possible. So we tone or optimize the nervous system with an exercise that matches the state. So if we're mobilized, generally speaking, we can do some gentle movement. If we're more immobilized, we can do some orienting. And then we can, if we're not sure, we can go at it with, any angle, breath work, movement, vocalization, or mindfulness meditation. And then three, we can go into that self inquiry. And obviously, like in the heat of the moment, when you're having a nervous system response, when your nervous system is telling you something, you may not be able to do self inquiry. And what I encourage folks to do is to do number one and two, sense and optimize, to get you through the moment. And then make sure that you have put into your life regular times of self inquiry, whether that's a regular therapist appointment, whether that's a regular appointment with a coach, someone who's going to do the work of Byron Katie with you, whether that's a regular set aside time, a few times a week for half an hour with you in a journal, doing some contemplation and self inquiry, whether that's an accountability partner that you check in with and talk through these things with, whatever version of self inquiry it is that works for you, great, but make sure that it's scheduled in. Because life is going to keep happening and these are going to keep happening. So if you don't have it scheduled in, then it's less likely that you're going to get to it. Okay, I'm going to keep talking about this more. So let me know what your initial thoughts are. I love you each so much, and I'm sending you so much love.